All right, we're live.
Awesome. What's up, guys? Shawn Bowen, Full Circle Investment Group, and wholesalingoutofthe.box.com. Coming at you again with another lunchtime live and another middle of the day helpful hint and helpful tips to talk about finding buyers. And today, or last Tuesday, or this past Tuesday, we discussed what it's like to go find buyers, what it's like to go to those markets and figure out where they are, what they're buying, their numbers. And then today we were going to get in here and talk about vetting those buyers. So guys, as you're coming over and watching, please leave us a comment. Let us know where you're coming in from, where you're seeing this stream at. Love to see where everybody's, seeing this show, and hopefully get more information out to you guys and help you as much as possible. Actually, there was something over on Virginia Wholesale Real Estate that said something about it wasn't streaming correctly. So I don't know what that's all about, but
we'll see. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll play in the background. Let me know if anything fixes over there. Maybe we have to stop it and start over.
Not sure. It says that it might be on Facebook's end, so I'm looking.
Okay.
But keep going, and yeah.
Okay, cool. So guys, again, today we're getting in here talking about vetting the buyers that you've gone out and found, and now you want to reach out and talk to, and then what are those questions you're asking them, and how do you go through that process, and what does it feel like? What are you talking about, and what are you doing? Okay. So, in the market today, I feel like a lot of guys are out there in your Facebook group saying, I'm a cash buyer, right? And then all of a sudden they leave an email or a phone number, and it's just like this barrage of, I just PM'd you, and, I'm willing to show you this deal. And my question for that is just because somebody gave you an email or a phone number, is that the only vetting process you take them through? Because if it is, you're in for a rude awakening. So hopefully what we talk about today will help you do that. It's helped us tremendously in the business, taking the time to go through this and make sure these people that are going to work with you can, and do what they say they're going to do as far as performance goes, right? So finding the buyers. We talked about that last time, and you've gone through the market and you've analyzed where you've seen somebody actually close on it, and you did the 12 month, 6 month, and 90-day review on the numbers, and you saw those 200 retail, 190 is like middle of the road where there was no fix up. And then maybe there's that $90,000 and $80,000 purchase price where it gets you to the, hey, these are what those guys are buying at numbers. And then of course, using a formula to back into those instead of, hey, I saw that guy buy at 100, so I'm just going to go get this property under that. And then lo and behold, get a hold of that guy and realize, or guy or girl, that property was missed all of its numbers, right? They overpaid for it. Their rehab budget went over and they couldn't sell it for what they wanted to. So all those numbers didn't make any sense, right? So that purchase price number would not have made sense if you contracted up based on it. So the other one is after you've talked to these people, now it's going down the road of, well, tell me what you do and how you're funded. And I feel as though a lot of people talk about, that's a very uncomfortable conversation, or maybe it's a taboo to ask, how are you funded, or how do you finance your deals? But I don't feel as though that's an issue at all, right? And majority of the time, and me included, anytime asked for a proof of funds letter, we update ours every 30 days because it changes, right? The amount that's available to us and the amount that's going in and out of the account all the time is different. And then again, just a proof of funds showing what that is. Now, let's be specific in that. Is it cash deal, meaning that it's your cash and you're liquid? Then that should be a bank account statement, a copy of a Roth IRA, or some kind of service that the money's coming out of. Or is it a hard money lender, right? And on a hard money lender, what are they showing? That's a letter, a proof of funds letter saying that they're funded or approved for this amount that has to go through final underwritten review. But then a big part of that is making sure that they have that down payment. So just because they have a proof of funds letter from a hard money lender, right? Now, let's be very specific here. This is not a .com letter that you go and you pay $15 a month to just generate some BS letter that says that you're funded, right? Because that's what some wholesalers are doing. This is actually a lender that they've worked with that will, you have the ability of calling and talking to and bouncing off and say, yes, I funded them. And then having that down payment as well. That's massive. So let's see that, right? A screen capture showing me that you have the liquid funds that, the total loan is going to be X amount of dollars and you have the down payment to give the hard money lender. Because in all honesty, let's be clear here, when you do hard money, you have to bring money to the table majority of the time, right? So are those funds available, right? So that's step one of getting, because we're going to start going down the rest of the questions. And then what are the different levels that these people are looking to buy and do rehabs on, right? Are they good to go on a full stud gut rehab, back down to nothing? Or are that not their model? Do they want to do, lipstick on a pig is what I call it, where it's just paint and carpet and maybe a little kitchen update here and there, and it's back on the market, right? So a very light rehab, and I would consider light rehabs everything under $30,000, and massive rehabs would be maybe 60 and above, right? So there's that little window in between. But yeah, this is where, starting to get these questions is where we send and ask people to go to our website and fill out this information. And we ask, these are the same questions we ask all the time. So getting through that questionnaire is step one, right? Do they take the time to answer the questions? Do they take the time to provide the requested information to even get to the next step of making a phone call to talk to those people? We have plenty of people that go to our website and don't even take the time to fill out the second form, much less the first one, right? Like, what's your name, company's name, and phone number and email address, which takes you to the second one, which is fill out this form of questions about where you buy, what you buy, how you buy, level of rehab, right? So I'd highly suggest while you guys are doing this to build, a form of some sort that can be in a Google form, right? Or it could be in a CRM system. Ours that we use is Podio. And there's an app in there that you can use and build a web form to send them to that specific site and get these questions answered. So guys, just want to stop here for a second. And if you're checking in with us and you're watching us, give us a shout out. Let us know where you're at. If any of this is helpful for you, please share it. To where maybe somebody else needs to hear this and it's helping them where they're going. And this could be for experienced, unexperienced. It doesn't really matter. This is what this talk is for. These lunchtime lives is to help you guys, hopefully. So let's see if we got anybody in here. All right. So I got that, Ashley. Good to go there. So yeah, guys, Ashley will share the link here. If you're watching us over in Virginia Wholesale Real Estate and our private group on YouTube, all those places, leave us a message. Let us know. Is this helpful? Is this total BS? Doesn't make any sense. What information do you feel as though is helpful or is not? I love the feedback, guys, no matter good or bad. There is no bad feedback. Actually, I love all the feedback. And then let's see. Hold on one second. So I'll close this out and then I'll close this out. Got it. All right. Should be good. I hope. All right. Little technical difficulties. All right. So let's pick up where we were, guys. So again, getting back to the questions for these guys is it's going to be the same questions over and over, and you want to take the time to build that rapport with that person. I mean, they are going to be a buyer that's added to your list. You do spend time, money, effort, energy to, find these deals. So as a buyer and as a company that can wholesale deals, I put massive value on what those deals are worth to me as the end buyer. Meaning I'm having a product put in front of me or a deal that I didn't go find. I've got a really good flyer with information talking about the pictures, the area, what the comps are, a description of what's going on with the property, and then ultimately in ours, we have it so you can make an offer right from our flyer. So very organized and very neatly put together to make it a very seamless, effortless deal, right? Like make it easy for these guys, but have all the information there ahead of time so that you're not taking people's time to just send an address, an asking price, email me for more information. Man, that has got to be the most frustrating thing ever, right? I want to know what's in front of me, what I'm looking at, where it's at, and as much information about the property as I can so that if I'm even somewhat interested, I have some kind of starting point without having to go and ask multiple times over for the same information I need to have anyway in order to make a decision if I want it, right? This will make your process much easier, okay? Give me a second, guys. I got all the technology stuff going on. All right. So the next part is on this form that you're building out is all of these questions, right? So where do you buy? What LTV do you buy at? I tell people, or I recommend to people that most of the time, if you're within a 70 to 75% loan to value, leaves a really good percentage of your buyer's pool to be able to get that deal funded, whether it be from a hard money lender or whether it be from privately funded, right? Or if it's a liquid cash. Everybody wants that spread of 25 to 30% of holding costs, rehab costs, and of course the profit margin. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's all about the money, right? And that's where I feel like you're going to get a pool, or you'll start seeing those numbers to get more people on your buyers list. And this is not a massive scale of buyers, right? When you really start honing in, whether it's your personal area or whether it's, another area that's away from you, I would say the majority of the time you might have 15 to, let's just say, 100 buyers on a list. Of that, maybe 10% of that list is your actual go-to buyer, performs, and then the rest of them are like some one-offs, right? Maybe they'll do 1 or 2 deals a year. But this is the kind of stuff that I see a lot of people talking about, build this massive buyers list and take the time to put this website together. And, all that's great, but what's all that for if you don't have a deal to sell them? How frustrating is it to spend all this time to go talk to buyers, potential buyers, go through the vetting process and not have anything to sell, right? Well, I'll be back to you with a deal. Focus on finding the deals, I say. That is probably your most high and best use of time for what you're ultimately going to get is to make money, right? If you don't have a deal, and deal meaning right under the right numbers, you're not going to have anything to sell anyway. So all that would be for naught for talking to buyers. So if you're, again, trying to say this, if you're not having to do the same thing over and over, right? The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, then take the time to build out this process that you send these guys to do a link that's what they're used to. And if they go through a vetting process, it means that not every Joe Schmo is going to get on their list, right? Like ours is a very vetted list. You don't get on our buyers list unless you go through the process and we know that you're real, you can perform, and that you've bought stuff in the past. And then we can verify all that, right? We actually have guys that come to us and say they've really enjoyed that process because they know that they're going to be on a very selective list. And they also know that it's going to be a list that probably has really good deals, right? And actually we do. So with all that said, if anybody's watching this, take the time to go to vaoffmarketdeals.com and fill that form out. Remember, take the time. Fill the form out completely, upload that proof of funds, and know that we will reach out to you and ask you questions and get to know you and understand what you buy, how you buy, and what you do in order to be able to provide you with the best service and deals. Okay. And for those people that are interested, use that as a starting point or maybe a watch point, that those are the questions that you need to ask. And those are the things that need to be completed that you need to ask for the potential buyers, right? That'll help you in the long run. If you're interested and you want that help with that setup on the CRM, go check us out at wholesalingoutofthebox.com and apply for that Podio CRM setup. We'll get you guys set up over there and get you going. That's a really good process. So guys, I'm going to pause here for just a second and see if we have anybody in here that's got any questions. And if you are here or you're watching this replay, let us know where you're from. Let us know where you saw the live at, where you watched it later. Love all the comments. Again, we're starting to get more traction with this, and we're being very consistent with it on Tuesday and Thursdays for you guys, and try to get in here at lunchtime. No matter where we are and what we're doing, we always get it going. So again, if this is helpful for you, please share this with somebody else. And, hopefully this will help somebody with their information. If it's helping you, please share it with somebody else. The final thing I say, guys, is take the time to, once they've filled the form out, once they've actually gone through your, the step 1, 2, and 3, take that final step of 4, which is getting on the phone and having a real conversation, a real talk. This is a relationship business, no matter if it's on the sales side or on the buy side, it's all relationship based. So you should have that ability of picking up the phone and having a great deal, and the flyer's made and you're good to go. And maybe it's 1, 2, 3 texts that go out to those specific people, and the deal is gone, right? Like the deal, because it's a real deal. The numbers make sense. You've given all the information ahead of time. You've got pictures to see. They know the location of the property, and they're very aware of what the structure of that deal is. And there's not a lot of back and forth questions. That's probably going to be your highest and best use of time on building this buyer's platform, buyer's list, which I hear a lot of guys say is just building a buyer's list. I think it's great to say that, but it's more or less building relationships, and those relationships they last a long time. I've had guys that have been working with us. I've been in for 10 years, and I've had guys I can literally pick up the phone and shoot a quick text to with the flyer information, and it's gone. Hey, thanks. I'm interested. I'm going to go ahead and submit to the flyer, and that on that flyer is where the submission form is, right? That again is the part of the process to make it very seamless and easy, right? Hey, Tom, what's up, man? Thanks. Really appreciate it. Glad this information helping you. So guys, just an overview for today was, dealing with buyers. And we talked Tuesday about how to find the buyers. And then we talked about what to do to vet the buyers and take the time to do that, and make the processes and procedures, or the SOPs, the standard operating procedures, to make it a very 1, 2, 3 process to where it's organized. How does that look to me as the buyer to work with somebody as a wholesaler that's not put together? I don't get all the information. It's very hodgepodge. It's very all over the place feeling. It doesn't give me like the warm and fuzzies of the rest of this transaction is going to go well, right? Because I'm having to do all this kind of stuff on the front end of it. So take the time to build this process. But remember, in the beginning, if you're just getting started, like the basic Google form where they can fill out a Google form, and go to YouTube and, YouTube this university, how to fill out a Google form, how to generate a Google form so that it collects all that information, and then you can put it somewhere and then actually use it, right? You ask certain questions, you send certain deals, certain people are going to buy, and make it a very easy process for yourself. And then have those questions in that time to sit down and talk and answer questions, right? Get to know the buyers, right? Somebody tells me they're a buyer and just sends me an email and a phone number on, like, we've had this, guys. They go to our website, they fill out the first form, which is asking their name, their email, and I think that's it. It's their name and email. When the second form goes into asking the rest of the questions, there'll be sometimes we don't even get a name. We just get an email. And then it's like, add me to your list. You're like, get out of here. Are you serious? You gave me no information. I know nothing about you. And yet I'm just going to, hand you over what we spend thousands of dollars on, hours of time to go and find these deals and literally structure them and put them all together to place them in the right people's hands to close on them. And think about that, guys. Like, you're spending a lot of time to go and find these deals. You're spending marketing money. You're hopefully using CRMs and call systems to keep yourself organized. You're following up and having multiple touches with sellers, having multiple conversations to finally get something under contract that makes sense, right? So if you were to look at that as though it's a $10,000 wholesale fee, why is it that you would just want to hand that off and give it to just any Joe Schmo that you don't know to say that they're a buyer? That is a really frustrating process, right? And I can tell you that because I've been through it. And this is why I'm taking the time to record this and make it for you guys, because it feels there's a lot of people out there talking about the acquisition side. They don't talk too much to the buyer side, because I feel like the acquisition side is more important anyway. But of course, if you don't have a buyer, then you can't sell the deal or make your money. But you got to have a real buyer, right? And don't just add any Joe Schmo to your list. Put them through the ringer. They should be, right? I mean, you are essentially having $10,000 or $5,000 in a wholesale fee that ultimately is going to turn into profit, right? So why would you just hand that over to anybody that you don't know? And I think the answer is you don't, right? So, guys, thanks again for being here today. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this information was helpful. Anybody watching the replay here, please leave us a like or a share, or we're starting to have these on YouTube. So I'd love to see comments there, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just let us know if there's anything that resonates here that makes sense, or it's like, yes, finally somebody's saying it, or nah, man, that's not the way I do it. I do it this way. I'd love to hear it, right? I'm always willing to learn. I'm just saying what the process is that works for us, and then what we've been doing as a company for years and have had really good success with. So remember, these are my opinions and these are my ideas in sharing and showing what works for us. So of course, everybody's got their own way of doing things. But hopefully this is something that will help you. Hopefully something that you will put into play, share with somebody, and or use to allow you to get that real fine-tuned niche, whatever the word is, to allow you to have a true list of guys or girls that can fund deals for you. And know that you're going to close and then have a future with those people and bring you more deals, right? Remember, the relationship here is you as the wholesaler are the person that's putting all the systems and processes in play, ultimately to bring the deal to the table to those guys that are not doing the marketing, not doing the touches, not doing the tracking. And why would they want to? It's a lot of work, right? But also you get paid for that work. So that's why I say take the time to build that list correctly, and then take the time to, build those relationships over time. Talking to your buyers is just as important time and time again, asking questions, not just about deals. Touch the buyers and talk to them every now and then about different things, right? After this COVID thing, I reached out to probably 5 or 6 of those guys and was like, hey, where are you at right now? One guy was specifically like, I'm not buying for another 2 months, right? And he didn't. He shut down and he didn't do anything. And then he came back to the table. So hopefully this is helpful, guys. Again, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen and watch the replay here. If you're just joining us, go back and watch later. Here was just talking about vetting buyers and what it's like to go through that process and actually take the time and put it into play and build that relationship with those people to ultimately have guys that will close on your deals. As always, we are buying and we are selling. So if you're interested in joining us or telling us you have a deal to sell, you can reach us at vacashforhomes.com. Or if you're a buyer and you do wish to join our buyers list, please take the time, answer both forms, and supply that proof of funds letter over at vaoffmarketdeals.com. So, guys, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Please leave me a comment. Share this if it helped you at all. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.